Hi, welcome to our YouTube channel, Mama Chow and Spicy Wonton. Today's episode 9, and we're going to talk about our impressions, which are different coming to Beijing in 1985, which is when we moved because my father, because of his own resilience and assertiveness and hard work, was able to get a really prestigious position at a foreign company that sent him to Beijing in 1985, which was just a couple years after Deng Xiaoping opened the economy in the famous open door policy, which started in 1978. So with that, I will turn over to Mama Chow to give her impressions of Beijing in 1985, which is very different from mine as a kid. So, Mama Chow, you want to start?
Okay, hi everyone. Okay, after I apply immigration to Canada, we, I'm talking about me, my husband, and our daughter, moved to Toronto without knowing anybody in Canada. So, due to his ability, he landed a job with the oil company. After working a few years in an oil company, the head office found he's the best suitable person to be sent to China to work there to after they open door. So after he told me this news relocation, I was the only one among three of us very hesitant to move back due to my last impression of China. We have episode talking about the
Hmm.
those years
A
difficulty.
lot of struggle before you left. Yeah.
Yeah. So the company offered us a trip to China, Japan, and Hong Kong to take a look whether we have changed our mind about the impression about China. So we did that trip. My daughter loves Japan. I went to China. I have a different impression about China. You always ask me, why so impressive? To you, it's horrible. So I said,
I wouldn't say it's horrible. It was, 1985, it was not as developed, and I was only 9 or 10 years old. So I'm used to my world in North America, right? You go there and the air is pollution is terrible. I was sick, like coughing, like terribly sick for, I don't know, a long time, a couple of months because of pollution. And you're in a new school environment, you don't know anybody, and a lot of things were not as developed back then in 1985 in Beijing. So anyway, but you had
well,
a good impression
okay,
because
yeah.
Mama Chow had very low expectations. She's comparing to when she had to escape China. I don't want to say left because you literally had to escape. It was 1962, 61.
Yes,
So
62.
right after the Great Famine, when 50, 60 million people died in China, and she was used to like not having enough food, having a good head of cabbage in our last episode was very exciting to Mama Chow. So compared to those days, 1985, China made a lot of progress. She, you know,
It was much better
yeah.
than 60s, of course. So we agree we will go back to China. So we relocated back to Beijing, China in 1985 winter. And right away, we have to arrange our daughter's schooling, which is the international school first built in China in the
International
1980s.
School, not International School of Beijing. It was just
Yeah,
built in 1980, and so when I joined the school in 1985, it was literally just a couple of years, 5 years. And at the time, there was only a handful of schools. There was like a French international school, some other international school, but we just looked online, according to Wikipedia, there are now 37 international schools. But when I was there were very limited choices, and we can talk separate episode about ISB, which is also shows the evolution of China and also the growth, the economic growth, and also wealth of local Chinese. Because when I joined ISB, there were no local Chinese, obviously, there. They couldn't afford it, and it was mostly for foreigners and diplomats. But we'll talk about it in a separate episode. So, um,
so we also arrange some after-school curriculum, which is keep up with her French, uh, violin. Hopefully, we can think about that later. It's very funny. And the new subject will be piano and Chinese. So
Yeah.
there's a four. And for a little girl, taking up four after school is too much, but it is our mistake. It's kind of a mistake. We can talk about this later. And
Yeah.
the life, new life in China has a lot of change for, especially for our daughter. In the morning, Chinese usually to have congee and a bun. She doesn't like it, so we give her the cereal we brought home. But
Mhm.
cereal needs milk. The milk, local milk, is like water. It's just a little color, right? But the friendship store we can get every
Mhm.
Wednesday with a little better milk, but it's still not very good.
Yeah.
But you have to be there very early in the morning, otherwise it will be sold out. So you asked me what's good about
Friendship
friendship
store.
store. Yeah, friendship store they don't offer any luxury thing. No, just regular household thing, household vegetable, fruit, and some display, some clothes,
But
some
that was but
those.
that was luxury to us because there was no real milk, quote unquote milk that we're used
Yeah.
to. You could not buy it in a local store, so you could only get it. We weren't diplomats, so diplomats have their own stores too. So the only place you could get it was at maybe friendship stores. So like friendship store doesn't have like luxury brands or you're thinking
No,
about
the
they had
no,
a better quality.
another
Anyway,
reason in Xinjiang, they do have very quality stuff, but due to the infrastructure, it's not very complete. Not like nowadays, booming is so great. By then, there's no transportation within state to state,
yeah.
province to province. That's the only reason. So you every morning I will see your sad face, lonely, no friend, no food you like. You miss McDonald's hamburger. So
Yeah.
every time we go to Hong
Well,
Kong,
okay, so let's not, we're getting off topic. We'll talk about that some other time. So, but the other example of sort of like weird impression, because I talked to you about it, was before this episode, was the garlic habit. And I was like, oh, I remember, we were fortunate to have like a driver chauffeur when we lived there. I was like, I remember the driver, they loved the garlic. And it was such a terrible smell. Like it was such a strong smell. As soon as you open the car door, you just smelled the garlic. And especially the first garlic man number one, we'll call him the first driver. He really he was a big guy, very nice guy, but he really loved the garlic. He ate more garlic, I think, than the garlic man number two, our second driver. And so when we tell a story about garlic, Mama Chow, because it's also reflective of the evolution of the China's economy between these two, with this story. So you want to
yeah, the first driver, talking about garlic, right? The company has a regulation say dinner time you can eat lots of garlic, but not breakfast. Is really too strong for everybody. The second one, can you believe that he's a millionaire due to his connection within the oil company?
hmm
So he quit a job. He become a wholesale to sell the oil company's motor oil.
Well,
So
he was resourceful. He was able, we don't know
yeah,
what happened to the garlic man number one, but garlic man number two, maybe that's a lesson. Don't eat so much garlic. But he was resourceful. He took advantage of the opening of the China's economy and the contacts in the oil company. And thankfully the economy opened and embraced capitalism, in some form. And so he was able to prosper and give his family a better life. I remember he had a daughter too, this garlic
yes,
man
yes,
number
his
two.
daughter, yes.
So that's sort of like the whole sort of arc of history that we lived through in Beijing from the beginning when it just opened its economy to we saw people able to thrive and become prosperous, even while we were there and after we left, right? With this garlic man number
Mm.
two. So,
So
yeah.
your father uh, kind of normal to him. Just act like from moving the company to moving from office to office. So he started very busy schedule, business trip inside and outside of China.
Yeah, he
He
was a
was very busy.
workaholic.
He's a
Yeah.
colleague.
Yeah.
So I remember your famous saying, talking to him, "Hi, Dad. Bye, Dad." From coming home, change the shower, then go back, go out again.
Yeah, he was
So
traveling a lot. Yeah.
he's traveling a lot. And
So,
I for me it's easier. The most difficult person is for you.
yeah.
And one thing is for your father is he told me the relationship, politics within the company is more complicated to deal with the Chinese counterpart. That we don't have to go detail.
That's a different story or episode, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is a nice, we'll have to wrap it up now. Just sort of a little teaser of our initial kind of funny, maybe quirky impressions of coming to Beijing in the 85 when they weren't developed. They didn't have much there, not even toilet paper, which is we didn't even have time to get into about the toilet paper, but we'll talk about that next time. But remember to like and subscribe, and we'll drop another episode next week.
Thank you very much.
Bye.